You want to be intimidating, huh? You puff out your chest, lower your voice, stare people down, and you look like a clown. You know why? Because you're trying too hard. You think being intimidating is about being the loudest guy in the room? The biggest dude? Nah. That's amateur hour. Real intimidation, the kind that gets in people's heads, it's quiet. It's subtle. It's about making them second-guess themselves, not about you flexing your muscles. You're making the classic mistake of confusing aggression with power. Aggression is loud, it's messy, it's desperate. Power doesn't need to announce itself. It's felt. Let me break it down for you. When you were a kid, you thought the playground bully was the toughest guy, right? He'd push people around, take their lunch money. But was he really in control? Not really. Everyone hated him, and the teachers were always on his case. He was just a loudmouth with a chip on his shoulder. He was all bark, no bite. The real power wasn't with him. The real power was with the quiet kid in the corner who everyone knew not to mess with. Why? Because he was unpredictable. He was calm. You never knew what he was thinking, and that's what made him dangerous. People fear what they don't understand. You're trying to be the playground bully. You're making a scene. You're trying to show everyone how tough you are. But all you're really showing them is how insecure you are. See, real intimidation comes from a place of supreme confidence. It's a state of mind. It's knowing you have the upper hand without having to say a word. It's the art of psychological warfare, not a street brawl. You're playing checkers while the real bosses are playing 3D chess. You're focused on the board in front of you, but they're thinking 10 moves ahead, manipulating you into a corner you didn't even see coming. Think about it. Who are you more scared of? The guy who's screaming in your face, spittle flying everywhere? Or the guy who's just sitting across from you, smiling, not saying a word, just watching you? I'll bet it's the quiet guy. Because his silence is deafening. His smile isn't friendly, it's a threat. You don't know what he's capable of. He's a blank slate, and your own mind fills in the terrifying details. He's made you intimidate yourself. That's the secret. That's real power. He owns the space without raising his voice. You're trying to control the situation with force. But the real players, they control the situation with their presence. They use silence like a weapon. They use eye contact to dissect your soul. They ask questions that make you question your own reality. They don't need to threaten you, because their calm demeanor is the biggest threat of all. It tells you they are completely in control of themselves, and therefore, in control of you. You're an open book to them, but they are a locked vault to you. That imbalance of information is where true power lies. So how do you get this power? You stop trying to be an actor playing a tough guy. You start by mastering yourself. Control your emotions. You get angry, you lose. You get scared, you lose. You get excited, you lose. The moment your emotions take over, you've handed the keys to your opponent. Stay calm. Stay observant. Watch people. Listen more than you talk. When you do talk, make every word count. Don't waste your breath on empty threats. Instead, ask a question that plants a seed of doubt. Give a compliment that feels like a warning. If you're finding this useful, and you want to stop looking like a chump and start understanding how the world really works, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to teach you how to read people like a book, how to control any conversation, and how to get what you want without ever having to raise your voice. Don't miss out. The game is being played whether you know the rules or not. I'm here to give you the playbook. Now, back to business. Let's talk about body language. You think crossing your arms and scowling makes you look tough. It makes you look defensive. It makes you look small. You're closing yourself off. Real power is open, relaxed. It takes up space. Think of a king on his throne. Is he hunched over, looking angry? No. He's leaning back, relaxed, surveyed his kingdom. His posture says, "This is all mine. I am in complete control." He's not threatened, so he has no need to look threatening. His power is a fact, not an act. You need to adopt that mindset. Own your space. When you walk into a room, don't scurry to the corner. Walk in like you own the place. Not with arrogance, but with a quiet confidence. Keep your movements deliberate and calm. No fidgeting. No nervous tics. Every move you make should have a purpose. When you speak to someone, maintain steady eye contact. Not a creepy, unblinking stare, but a calm, focused gaze that says, I see you. I understand you. And I am not intimidated by you. Let's use an example. You're in a negotiation. The other guy starts raising his voice, banging his fist on the table. The amateur move is to match his energy. You start yelling back. Now you're just two monkeys screeching at each other. Nothing gets accomplished. The pro move. You stay perfectly calm. You let him finish his little tantrum. You might even let the silence hang in the air for a few uncomfortable seconds after he has done. Then, in a perfectly normal, quiet voice, you say something like, Are you finished? Now, as I was saying, you've just taken all the power in the room. You've shown him that his emotional outburst has zero effect on you. You've completely invalidated his attempt to intimidate you. He looks like a child, and you look like the adult in the room. It's about flipping the script. People expect a certain reaction. When you don't give it to them, it throws them off balance. They expect you to get loud when they get loud. They expect you to flinch when they threaten. When you do the opposite, when you get quieter, calmer, even amuse, their brain short circuits. They don't know how to react. You've taken control of the interaction by refusing to play by their rules. You're now playing your game, on your terms. Another mistake is over-explaining. You think telling someone all the reasons they should be scared of you is intimidating? You don't know who I am. I know people. I can make one phone call. Blah, blah, blah. All that does is show your hand. You're giving away information. You're telling them what you're capable of. The truly dangerous person never tells you what they're going to do. Their power lies in the unknown. Mystery is a powerful tool. Let their imagination do the work for you. Their mind will always invent a worse scenario than anything you could ever threaten them with. Instead of big, empty threats, use ambiguity. A simple phrase like, I'd be careful if I were you, delivered with a calm smile, is 1,000 times more intimidating than a long, angry rant. Why? Because it's a blank check of a threat. What should they be careful of? Who should they be careful of? When? You've planted a virus of paranoia in their mind, and it will grow all by itself. You haven't actually threatened anything specific, so you have plausible deniability. But the message was received, loud and clear. So, let's recap the disaster you've been calling intimidation. You've been loud when you should be quiet. You've been aggressive when you should be calm. You've been obvious when you should be subtle. You've even playing the part of a gangster from a bad movie instead of understanding the psychology of real power. You've been focused on your own actions instead of your target's reactions. You're trying to win a fistfight when you should be winning a mind game. It's time to stop being the court jester and start being the king. It's time to learn the code. The path to true influence isn't about being the biggest predator in the jungle. It's about being the one who understands the jungle better than anyone else. It's about knowing what strings to pull, which buttons to push. It's about making people do what you want, not because they're scared of getting hit, but because they're scared of the unknown, scared of the consequences you never have to spell out. They'll hand you the keys to the kingdom just to make the feeling of uncertainty go away. If you've stuck with me this long, it means you're not a total lost cause. You're starting to get it. You're seeing behind the curtain. But watching one video isn't going to cut it. This is a skill. It takes practice. It takes knowledge. So here's what I want you to do. Go down to the comments and tell me the biggest mistake you think people make when they try to be intimidating. I read all the comments. Let's see who's been paying attention. And while you're there, keep watching. The next video in the playlist is going to break down the 3 types of silence and how to use them to win any argument. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.